Well. It's a Monday, and Bob is back in the UK. We got the Light God Sea Warrior is going to be joining us for a little while. About 30, 40 minutes, he said. We're going to be talking about some time travel updates and some Matrix behind the scenes stuff. Matrix, kind of like we did last time on what's causing the Mandela effect. You know, is it a Matrix? Is it time travel? That kind of fun stuff. But before we get there, and like God Sea Warrior, I will put your information in the description so people can find you. I didn't know for sure you're coming on, so I didn't put you a description.
No problem, bro.
So Bob, before we talk about some things and we get people to come in, tell us about your you traveled back to the UK Friday morning.
Yeah.
So I was getting back into the UK because technically the UK says Americans are banned. So how did you make it?
I have special connections. I made it back to UK. I like it because nobody's wearing a mask. Nobody's wearing a mask. Nobody's wearing a mask. I went to the stores. I did laundry, the laundry service. Nobody has it. I've joked. There's no lines. They've passed a law, though. It just went through. It goes in 2 days effect where you got to wear masks in the store. And I'm like, oh, man, come on. Shit, I just got here too late. But there's no masks in stores. There's no distancing. Everybody's happy. Everybody's stoked. There's people. It's like nothing here. It's just there's no problems. There's no mask problems. There's no masks. People don't have to wear them on the streets. The bars are all opened up. People were in the bars, no masks. But, of course, the powers that be have to combat this, so they're going to pass the fucking law that everyone has to wear a mask in the store. But there's nobody on the streets in a mask. Nobody in a car with a mask. Nobody.
Now you're saying in the stores, or how about the bars and restaurants?
Nobody. Today, presently, like right now, nobody has to wear a mask anywhere. They're not wearing them anywhere. I've been in stores galore. I did laundry, talking to people, sitting there making jokes. Nobody in a mask. Whole family units are in front yards, hanging out, having a good time. I feel like it's back to the way it used to be. I was like, you guys have no idea about the States, man. It's like, it ain't like this. Everybody's in a paranoid fucking stage of fucking mask heaven. And nobody in a mask. Nobody paranoid. Nobody upset. Again, that's going to change in 2 days because they passed the fucking mask rule, which is stupid. And everyone's like, why? It's no problems. But you're going to have to wear a mask. Now, again, I repeat names that did solids. Scott Harrison did a thing about you take a cell phone, you put a card on it, and it just says you're exempt from masks for medical reasons. You just flash it, and he's correct. As an anthropologist, I'm going to tell you right now, people are conditioned for people that are disabled. Immediately, they snap into fucking, oh, I'm sorry. Continue with what they were doing. They don't fucking care. Airport, everybody was in a mask. They're announcing it every 5 minutes like a Nazi. The peoples must have the masks and the papers. Everyone must comply constantly. Everybody's fucking in face shields all through the airport. I walked through, no mask, no nothing, no hassles, beard, smiling. And then I was asked only by one person, and he was from Africa. And he was all, with the mask on, all paranoid, please step back. I said, from what? Dude, I'm exempt. I showed him my card. Then he treated me like gold. Then they called for me like an electric car to sit down, and they drove me through the airport. Because once you tell them the card is the opposite. So once they think that you're disabled, then they treat you like gold. You don't need the mask. We're going to treat you better than a person with a mask. Yeah, I got to sit with.
He's on
the best treatment.
Hey, Bob, you know, a lot of people don't know that in Seattle Airport, they have the new technology in there that they don't do fever testing with guns because they got the machine now that as soon as you walk inside, they know your temperature without you even worrying about it. Yes, it's put in every single spot in the airport. It was all on the news. They're not really announcing it, but as soon as you walk in the airport, they know your temperature.
Yeah.
That's the future.
I've noticed only the immigrants, like the actual from the other country immigrants who have everything to lose if they don't comply, are the only ones complying with anything. The British had their masks hanging off their face like you do in the store, Eric. Eric don't really put a mask on. He has it hanging off one ear. You walk around and like, oh, what? You know, if he has to do something stupid. The British are the same way in the airport. Americans, you got to ask them to put it on, and then they're like, well, okay, and then they take it off. You know, so there's different people with different, mask things. But once you get into the English soil, there's no masks,
so people know that
no distancing, no nothing.
Bob's internet is down, people. So Bob is using his phone internet, so that's why he's a little choppy. His internet is down, so he's using his phone internet. So right now, what's going on in America? What is the UK thinking of America? Because they put the ban on flights to go to the UK, but you made it. But what do the UK think of American right now? What we're going through? Do they say
they think? Yeah, they think it's pretty much on fire. They think that we're taking over towns. People are in rioting form. They think that it's just total chaos, like anarchy. Just people are fighting, protesting, the whole night. In fact, they were inspired by America. That's why they did a big protest in England. It was because the Americans did it. They wanted to do it. They tore down something somewhere. Who fucking knows? But other than that, they just think that Americans are just being Americans, just typical Americans. They're just
we attacked Seattle again. We or whoever's in charge of that rioting. It just happened again.
And Bob, I was about to tell you the building that they attacked, the broken windows and shattering and spray painting. You know what building that is? That's the building.
What?
No way. That's where your wife works? Shit.
Oh, well, it's the court.
He works in that building.
Yeah, I watched that. Shit. So now what? What are they doing?
Well, the way they're doing split shifts in a way. So half the week they get to work from home, the other half they get to go there. So luckily, she's not scheduled. She's working from home today. She doesn't go back to her building until Wednesday, but she's saying that they messed up outside, spray paint. They tried to break every single glass, and
I thought they were going after Amazon Go, which I'm tormented on that one because I'm against rioting, but it's Amazon Go. I don't know, but
people don't think that kind of protesting affects you. It does. It affects my wife. They shut down the work. They got to go home. It's luckily that she could do her job at home.
Yeah,
she could do all that, so she's lucky on that. But that's her building, so that's cool. So anything weird, Bob? Anything else you want us to know that was weird about your whole flight, or are you just glad to be back to get normal?
It's short. As ceiling fan man Richard understands that it's bullshit. The distancing is bullshit. 8 hours. 8 hours. Now, I was in the military. I caught flights from America to overseas. It's taken 13, 14 hours, maybe a layover on top of that. 8 hours straight. Custer, we've just got here early. Of course you got here early. You always get here early. There's no late on any fucking plane coming overseas. So under 8 hours, a flight from Seattle, well, actually from Texas to London, under 8 hours. It's not my timeline. No problems. You were not allowed to open the windows, even though it was daylight the entire trip, because people need to sleep. So you can't open the windows. So I kept trying to open a window, and if I just crack it a little bit, it goes boom, the whole place is lit up. And they have all the lights off. I'm like, you can't see. They don't want you to look out the window. I always I want to see the wing. And I'm trying to put a blanket over the window to see the ocean. I want to see some shit. No, can't open the window. No, they'll be on you like a fly on pit. So yeah,
You might
it
see
was
that
interesting
thing on the
that
wing
one.
that's pulling up the
This
metal.
can still
and
make
that-
Well, right before we talk about time travel matrix, I want to show you guys this now. Last week, you guys know that I told you guys that two people from the Mandela Effect conference was in France with somebody with the Matrix, not the Matrix, the Mandela Effect movie that caused me to have a strike, right? So I never let things go quietly. You got to know how to fight behind the scenes. So I studied on who owns the rights to this movie. Well, the rights is owned by a company called Periscope. They actually own the rights, not the guy who. Anybody who works for them could put a claim against you for a strike, but technically the movie rights is owned by Periscope. So I'm going to share this email with you guys. Okay, I'm going to read this email. Okay, Eric, I believe that the video in question was flagged for us because the title, the Mandela Effect full movie, which I'm going to come back to that title, the Mandela Effect full movie. I'm going to come back to that. In an attempt to stop privacy, we submit a takedown request often. Then, upon reviewing the claim, because I called and I sent some emails to them, so I forced the hand of somebody who's in charge of the company. They wrote, upon reviewing the claim, we see that it wasn't in fact an effort of piracy, but a review of the film. Even though it apparently wasn't a positive one, which I did not give the movie a positive one, we wouldn't want to silence disputing options. We just removed the YouTube claim, and please feel free to repost. We suggest naming it something less likely to be flagged for piracy, and you should be good. So,
That's awesome.
So now they removed it. They did. I saw it. They did remove it. But this is the thing. I never titled the Mandela Effect full movie. I called it a Mandela Effect review. I never put full movie. So somehow, I think what happened was two people from the conference told them that I have the word full movie in there because it was never in there. I never wrote full movie because I was never showing a full movie. It was just a review of how I hated the movie. So the head person of Periscope looked at the video, and I know he saw a different title, but he just probably wanted to save face and say, no, because of the title, we thought this what it was, but it really wasn't. So I got them to remove it. I thought that was cool. Like Bob, like you're saying, you got to pick your battles. You got to do it certain ways. You just can't scream or yell. You got to fight certain ways. Find somebody else. Find a back door. Find somebody who's really in charge that can make decisions. And I won that.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah, fight smart. Fight smart, man. Sun Tzu, the art of war. Pick your battle. Know your battlefield. Know the weather. Know the weapons being used. Use weapons against weapons.
I just love the way they said, even though it wasn't a positive review. Well, the movie sucked. I mean, hey, can't lie. But hey, guys, we have a guest on today, the God Sea Warrior, and
good to see you, Mike.
Him and I were chatting, and it was a Brian Stabley's video. We were chatting, and you said, Mike, that hey, you liked the video that we did about time travel, kind of like maybe that's the cause of Mandela Effect, to the point where you yourself told me that you made a video with a friend. You guys had a time travel talk,
right?
And then you're mentioning something about time travel in the Bible. I said, hey, let's save that for a show because that's interesting about if there's a time travel talk in the Bible. Is there in the Bible? Is there something that?
And real quick, I'd just like to say I really appreciate the guest coming on wearing a hat. So thank you so much for that.
Hey, that's all for you guys.
I'm getting my Bible.
I have worn it before, but I set it aside for this show particularly. So
did we really
good on you, man?
Did we inspire you to have a conversation about time travel on your show?
Yeah, kind of. It's a topic. It really just piques my interest. I really think that we don't really understand time, that it's not linear or just as cut and dry as, we've always thought it was. And it's it, you know, I have no way to prove, you know, what we're going to talk about, but to me, it definitely would explain, you know, some of the things we're seeing. Just how, you know, Brian's favorite person, Tom Hanks, he talks about a lot. We've talked, you know, that they have, he seems to have more MEs than, you know, anyone else in his movies. And, you know, that could, you know, be an explanation for why, you know, he did. He turned, I think he turned on like the LHC at CERN in 2008. They had him up there as like the poster boy for it. But I just thought about that with, you know, once I thought about it, how he does seem to, you know, a lot of his movies, things have changed. Just, you know, like life was like a box of chocolates. And, you know, there's several more, but it definitely would explain some things. But Lee from Drones and Truth, he'd called last week, and we were just talking about that, and we've talked about the time thing a lot, and he brought it up. It's his idea, you know, but we kind of put it together, and that we see people that just absolutely cannot see these things that we do. In 2016, when I first, you know, really began to notice it, what it kind of blew my mind more than that it was happening is it seemed like 95% of the people I talked to, just, they didn't see nothing wrong, just acted like, oh no, this has always been that way. And, you know, kind of freaked me out. You know, it didn't last long, but I even debated, like, if I was dead or something where no one was seeing these things. It didn't last long, but I was just looking for answers, you know. And finally, I did run into one of my friends, noticed what I did. You know, I was like, great. You know, at least I'm not, you know, the only one. But he brought up that you're all familiar, like, with the mark of the beast. It's going to govern if you can buy or sell. And he brought up that if they are able to go backward and forward in time, if you go forward in time, eventually you're going to come to the end. And what he was talking about was that the people in the future that are going to accept this mark, if when they got to the point that they reached the end, if it did send some kind of like ripple backward where that's affecting them now, it's I mean, it may sound kind of crazy, but
no, I explain that a little bit more. So who are the people that you're talking about that saw the end and then came back? Like, what people are you talking about?
Well, no, I'm not. I mean, I'm not even saying that you know, like in movies, like someone gets in a time machine and you know, I'm not even saying that's how it would have to be. I'm just, if they were able to do something like that, they're going to come to a point, because the video I did on it, I talked about, we've seen how like South America has been moved, you know, just multiple places have been moved. In Revelations, when it talks at the sixth seal about all the mountains and islands been moved out of their place.
Mm-hmm.
If they were able to go forward in time, when they got to the point where they got to when the sixth seals opened and something like a ripple was sent back, you know, that could be an explanation for why
the enlightened people are somehow connected to the people that did this time travel. Is that what you're saying? And the other people aren't because they're not connected to it?
No, nothing like that. Just what we had talked about is the people that will accept this mark to be able to buy or sell in the future.
Right.
If a ripple was backward when they get to that point, when like the sixth seal, when I think it's the seventh vial talks about that too, with the mountains and islands been moved back. If if it sent the ripple backward, that it's affecting them somehow. It's affecting them now. That's why they can't see some of these things. Because I've talked about that. People I've talked to in person, I think that they literally cannot see what we do. Just the look in their eyes, just the expressions. I mean, I think they literally are blinded to what we can see.
Yeah, definitely. There's something definite to the whole 20/20 vision and the blinding, and it's written about with the scales that were on Saul and all that.
Right,
so it's like there's something there. And then there was the guy that he was riding his donkey, and the donkey could see the angel, and he couldn't. And then all of a sudden he could. So there is something there. It's interesting theory.
Right. Yeah, and that's it is a theory. It's just
Well, that's all we all
like
have. Nobody has anything but that. Yeah.
No, 100% proof of anything out there.
Nah.
It's just there to talk about it.
It's what we can see, what we theorize, and what was in our heart, and you put that together, and you come up with where you want to live.
Yeah.
Well, you got to remember, CERN uses hydrogen to do their little game with. Their BBs are made of hydrogen. Our bodies are made of hydrogen, water, mostly water. Tom Hanks could have donated hydrogen. You understand? He could have used his blood. So home slice out of a ceremony, they could have donated his own hydrogen for the project. You understand? It's just water. It's hydrogen. You could take it from blood. So if Homeboy is being Mr. RH negative fucking king of Hollywood, which he is, RH negative, ironically, they could have used his blood at the fucking Hadron fucking collider. Now, I don't mean it did anything. Let's throw that a fuck away. But he did ceremoniously donate his blood. I guarantee you he did that to be launched. So one of the fucking launches was his DNA. They're trying to launch Home Slice's DNA into space, into time. They're trying to crack his shit. They blew up his fucking hydrogen. You know what I'm saying? He donated blood.
And I bring Brian on all of this Tom Hanks stuff.
Yeah, well, that's what he did. He's one of the. That's why he was in that hydrogen collider taking pictures. Oh, I'm taking pictures of the hydrogen collider because they used his fucking. And they also used his RNA. They're using his RNA blood, his RNA, which is instructions to fucking make the virus. Your DNA is the IKEA. The template to build a cabinet. It's just the template to build it. The RNA are the carpenters that put it together. So they're taking his RNA and they're putting it in the fucking antivirus bullshit. So you're gonna have Tom Hanks's mechanics in your body doing shit. So they're really using this cocksucker a lot.
And now he's going to be on the ground. Did you see Brian last night? They're putting him as the stand 6 feet and walk this way. It's going to be Tom Hanks.
Yeah, they are really investing in this piece of shit. They're investing a lot in him. So there's a lot on his back right now. They got him on live chats like this, talking about getting beat up by his brother, like on his. Watch them of his shit. The guy is a piece of shit. So they've invested all of their efforts into Tom Hanks, which is not his real name. He's actually, no offense, Richard, he's Jewish. So they're investing in this Jewish guy. Richard don't care. He laughs. He laughs, but he is. And so they're using this guy's DNA, and they're symbolically using all his stuff. So like he's the Messiah. Well, you know what I'm saying? Yeah. Like this guy is a piece of shit.
It is, but it makes sense.
Veterans, my ass. This guy represents nothing.
But it makes sense to use them because majority of the people who follow these rules are older people, not the younger people. They're the ones who are more likely to not wear masks and all that. So how do you control the older people? You use their Godfather, you use their Tom Hanks, because people over the age of 40 and above loves Tom Hanks versus people who are in 20 to 30s who don't even give a shit about him. They didn't grow up with him. Those people don't.
It's no accident that he's in almost everyone's beloved movies, at least some of them on everyone's list. There's no accident there. Right. He's a good actor, and they know it, and that's why they use him this way. Yeah.
Well, Eric's favorite movie, Pineapple. What's it called? That Express something north. The train that goes to Santa Claus.
The cartoon.
The movie.
Polar Express.
Yeah.
The Polar
Express. Never saw it.
Polar Express. So he made a movie, North Pole, the North Pole to meet Santa Claus. He's spit in your face with the North Pole, the Polar Express. In the movie, he goes to the North Pole, the northern Arctic ice sheet continent in the movie. And so now I see it and I'm laughing, going, oh, now there is no North Pole. So ironically, water. He's in that movie. Now it's just water. Yeah. So he's in all. They have put him as the poster boy. Him a messiah character in this fucking comic book. That's what it is. I don't like him. He's an asshole. He's a fucking liar.
I forgot about Polar Express because he was the
Polar Express.
You to come on the train to go to the North Pole. He wasn't just a character. He was the main character to allow you to get there and get home. So he had the power if you want to see Santa or not.
He was the conductor on the train.
He was the conductor for real.
Yeah. He was the conductor to see Santa. Santa is Satan. You should go see Santa Claus, which is actually Odin. But he's the one who allows you to go see the great Santa, Odin or whoever. He's the train. So they have him built up from the beginning. This guy has been groomed, and he has been probably buggered more than any man on this freaking back of the turtle. Well,
he started as a cross-dresser on a TV show, and then he also had one of our favorite movies, Big, where he was a child in a relationship with a grown woman. So again, that's more conditioning. I mean, he's just been in everything throughout our lives that were fun movies at the time. And when we look back on it, they've just been programming, conditioning us throughout our whole freaking lives.
Yeah,
so much.
The TV that he was in, Bob, Dungeons and Dragons, where he becomes mental illness for playing a game.
Oh, and that's a new thing I just saw. I know they've talked about it before, but there's a new story out where they're saying that this Crenani will give us mental illness and we'll see hallucinations. And so basically they're just trying to describe pretty much everything we talk about on this channel now is potentially because we got Crenani, didn't know it, now we have mental illness. That's the news story. Isn't that great?
Yeah.
And then he plays
a movie with Tom Hanks.
And he also plays something called The Circle, where they try to control the information that's out there. Like they're trying to control. I can't remember exactly what it was about, but Bob, I'm talking about The Circle, where he's like a CEO and they try to control.
It's about micro. We have them now. They're everywhere. They in the intelligence department, they have them everywhere. They're cameras about the smaller than a dice. They're cameras, and they put them everywhere. And in the movie, it's just a truth drop. They have put them. You could put them in your favorite girlfriend's house, and you can be a creep, a weird nerd creep, and watch people. You could put these cameras everywhere. Everywhere. You could put them again on the ground. You could put them on a car. They're like the smaller than a dice. You can put them everywhere. That's the whole premise of the movie. It's invasion, on another level. And in the movie they put them in so everybody's on a show. The world is now a TV show.
It is.
Everybody.
Look,
the invasion of your privacy is gone. Or there.
Future movie called News of the World. I wonder what that's going to be about. In the Garden of Beast. And then, of course, an untitled Elvis Presley project.
He's doing Elvis? I wonder if he's going to do the lip curl that Robert told me doesn't happen anymore. That'd be funny.
In the Garden of Beast? What the hell is that? News of the World. I mean, you're right. Everything he does. The Circle, Inferno. What is Inferno? Isn't that one of the Da Vinci Code movies.
I don't know, but he did those.
Inferno.
Of course, he did the Da Vinci movies.
The hologram of the king, where he goes to a country and they're trying to develop the holograms technology.
And then I've learned a lot from Joey and doing some research on what he's taught me, Joey Rocha, about volcanoes. And don't forget, one of my favorite Tom Hanks movies that nobody ever really knows is Joe versus Volcano.
Yep.
So it's just like
it's about sacrifice.
On top of anything.
Yeah, it's about sacrifice.
What's that?
See, it's about him jumping in and sacrificing his body for others.
Yeah,
it's sacrifice.
Sort of Jesus-like. Yeah, exactly.
It's such a Jesus thing to do. He's done everything Jesus would do in this place. Everything. He's controller of. He talks to Santa. He's the controller on the train to go see and go to the North Pole. He's in charge. He's the conductor. He's the guy that saves the brothers in the World War II on the beach of Normandy. He did it. He did everything. He did again.
You want to hear this, Bob? You know what else he does? He's an executive.
What's that?
Tom Hanks is executive producer of all the Rock and Roll Hall of Fames.
Really?
He also has his feet in the music world. Yes, he's the executive producer of all the Rock and Roll Hall of Fames. So he controls
really
the voice of who gets in and who doesn't.
He was also part of the first, deep fake kind of movie. I mean, Forrest Gump is completely him inserted in throughout fake history, which trying to solidify that as it goes along. But that's what they talk about now, this whole deep fake thing they did in that movie and put in our faces.
Yeah. If somebody came to me, oh gosh, as an anthropologist, as an educated motherfucker, if someone came up to me and says, "Can you give me without being angry?" Not, I mean, Brian hates it. We all hate it. Without being non-biased, can you just pick one person that you would choose to be the Antichrist on this planet, who's actually represented himself in the public's eye of all these things that a Messiah character would do? I'd say, well, to be honest with you, let's take a look at the list. Tom Hanks. Tom Hanks. He's the Antichrist. He's the Messiah character. Now, fuck the Pope. The Pope's a little weirdo. He's just a
too many
pedophile.
people hate the Pope. That's the thing. Everyone seems to still love Tom Hanks. You know, that's weird.
And he tries
You
to
love
change
Tom
history.
Hanks. That's the whole idea. You love the Antichrist.
Yeah.
He also executive produced John Adams' series that was on HBO. So he even tries to change the future of the past by, since he's a producer, he gets a say on what's in there or not. So he's changed music, history, everything. Bob, you're right. He's in charge of everything. He's the president of the United States of America.
He's the Antichrist.
Make a president. What
If
the
someone
hell?
says, choose, he'll run for president next. He'll be governor. He'll be the emperor. He'll be the Antichrist. He will be the. Who do you choose? Tom Hanks. He's a loving character. You know, we can't pick. What was his name? He had a family show. He was African American. I can't remember his name.
Oh, Bill Cosby. And then he found he
famous
raped
hit family show, but now he's up for charges. Cosby would have been on the list of that good list too, but he got caught, you know, roofing women, so he's going to prison. So, but Tom Hanks they've got it so quiet he didn't get caught yet, so he's the Antichrist, man.
And I think they got lose certain people.
I mean, leave the Pope alone.
I think that's what happened with Cosby. They didn't see any use for him anymore. So if they take him down, then you don't look at the other ones as much. So there's something weird. Tom Hanks can go on TV and tell everyone we're horrible people for not wearing masks and we're killing everyone's grandma and all these things, and everyone still likes him. It's fascinating to me. So you could be right on that. I mean, again, everything's a theory, you know.
Of course,
yeah.
He also,
well, they did use his DNA at CERN.
Now he's also executive producer of Brian's favorite thing, From the Earth to the Moon.
And he was in Apollo 13.
Yep. But he also
Apollo 13
about Earth to the Moon. He's everywhere.
And someone in the chat said he was a producer of JFK, which I didn't know, but I wouldn't doubt it.
The way this game is being played out is for the sci-fi heads is that Tom Hanks, this is how the game's being played out. Tom Hanks went to CERN. He donated his blood. They launched his blood in CERN, and then he went through time and space. So Tom Hanks is changing the Bible. He's changing everything. It's Tom Hanks is changing history. Just look at all his videos that have changed. It must be him. He's the one doing it. His blood was used at CERN. It must be Tom Hanks. It's so bullshit. What happened if Mike is correct and time travel happened, but like back in the 90s, but the military did it before they did it at CERN in another dimension. And they didn't use Tom Hanks' blood. They used another person's blood, but they're trying to make you think it's Tom Hanks. It ain't Tom Hanks. He's a piece of shit.
Now,
popcorn here sucks.
So the Bible itself, did it itself talk about time travel in it?
No, well, there's a part.
I don't know.
There's a part in Daniel 7:25 where it says the dividing of time, and I mean it's even if you go into like a Strong's Concordance, it's translated as just meaning like 3.5 years, but in the last chapter of that book it says half a time. In that one it says the dividing of time, which it's just never, when I first began to study it and looked at how it was defined, it just didn't set right, just the way it's worded, because, dividing doesn't necessarily mean half, or, it means dividing. And I just kind of think that they've just took where in chapter 12, what it's saying there, even though the word for time is different from that. It goes into chapter 2 where it's talking about like the seasons, things like creation itself, rather than I just don't see that it's talking about like that would mean a year. And just the wording when it says the dividing of time, that would I mean, that's
Well, I find interesting what you said there, because it does say that it says they think to change times and laws,
right?
And they shall be given into his hands. So right there, it could technically say they want to try to do this, and he's going to allow it. That's kind of what I read there, possibly.
Right. That's exactly how I take it.
It's interesting. I'm really looking into that. I'll look into this. Sounds fascinating. I never thought of it.
Like I said, it just really intrigues me. Just the idea. I mean, I just really don't think that time is we've been what we think of it as. It just is cut and dry as it just goes forward. I really just don't think.
It's almost like the opposite world that we live in. So if we don't live on a ball, but it's flat, most likely,
right?
But timeline they tell us is flat, but most likely it's way more complex than that, more ball, like going every which way. So it could be, because everything else they tell us is the opposite.
That's true.
Now, what if, now this is like I said, what if Tom Hanks and all this stuff what if Tom Hanks is really an AI of the Matrix? I'm just saying, what if it is a Matrix, and maybe with how life is going on with the Matrix, because in the movie Matrix, they actually changed how they did the human bodies in the Matrix. They used the human bodies as batteries, but in the real script, they were going to use humans as mini brain computers, and to make one big computer go off. But they decided to change that and go with humans being batteries, which, if you think about it, that's kind of stupid. I'd rather us be mini brain. We only use 10% of the brain. So if we're living in a Matrix, and say the Matrix is controlling things, and because they're changing our past to make it easier to move in the future, like you said, Bob, making everybody Tom Cruise now, making everybody softer, making it easier to transition. Because one of the things I think about the Matrix, I think about what they're trying to do right now. Digital currency. Make everything digitally, everything easier to control. Because once everything goes digital currency, then you got more power to Tom Hanks people, the governments, than you ever had before. If the theory of Matrix is real, and time travel could just be planted here in our brain to get us away from the Matrix thoughts. And like I said, this is just theories. This ain't a fact. This ain't true. But by the Matrix changing things, we're remembering the things that used to be because it's not perfect. That's why we see glitches. I mean, what do you guys think of that? Is that too crazy, going too out there?
I just basically think that we can't prove anything. I'll listen to all theories, and if they resonate with me, great. I'll run with them. If they don't, that's cool. I'll move on to something else. But we can't prove anything at this point. We can't even prove where we live. We can just, extrapolate information and theorize.
But what I hear a lot from everybody, like I heard it from you, I heard it from Bob, that people are taking downloads, uploads, like their eyes are like. I mean, that sounds more of a Matrix style versus maybe they did time travel and change something, and that is causing an upload. But when I hear the word upload, it's like you related to the Matrix.
Well, Bob and I actually saw it happen in person. We went up to that dude in the truck who had his phone out to call the cops, and he and I just started talking to him, and we just physically saw his facial expression change. He looked confused. He put his phone down, and then he muttered, I guess the laws don't apply to everyone, and he drove off. And we just looked at each other. We totally had that whole, these aren't the droids you're looking for moment. It was not.
Yeah. About below, this guy wrote, know about the coin shortage. That is real. There is a coin shortage. Digital getting force a digital currency. I mean, the signs are there.
Yeah, they stopped printing.
Yeah, because precious metals, precious metals was the coins. So for you to exchange in goods, you would exchange in what Richard would clearly explain to everybody, if you guys want to take a whole show to do it, how precious metals are worth their weight in whatever value they have on the market. So you use precious metals to buy goods, not promissory notes. Promissory notes, there's nothing there. But if you had precious metals, then you're actually exchanging a worth good. And they don't want that. They want promissory notes. They want you in debt. Now, if I have gold and I exchange in gold, I'm not in debt. I'm not giving them an in debt paper. I'm not giving them a promissory note. I'm giving them straight up cash, like straight up money, gold. You have copper. Pennies used to be copper. They were worth their weight. You had coins that were they were the money. There was no promissory. You received the goods. But now they want to get rid of any precious metals, no weight for anything. It's got to be promissory notes only, which are backed by no gold, nothing but a promise.
And also after 1964, the coins changed to, instead of like 90% silver, to hardly any. Most of the coin pads now are very little precious metal inside them. So if you have coins that are, let's say a dime, quarter, $50, $1 from 64 or older, they are silver, almost 90%. And so they're worth more than the actual value on the coin. And the new coins aren't really worth anything, but they cost money for them to produce. And also it takes us on onto the B system, to where it's all cashless.
Yes, and here's something that people don't talk about enough, about how digital currency gives more money to the government. Okay, these people don't know about this. They do. We told to Brian before, and he liked it. When you give money to friends, like say say you needed $500, and I give you $500 cash. Okay, you take it. The government makes no money, but technically, if you give a gift to somebody above a certain amount of money, you're supposed to pay taxes, right? You're supposed to pay a gift tax. I mean, that's the law. It's really there. Okay, now say there's no money, right? You get rid of currency, right? You got digital currency. Well, Bob, say now you need to borrow $500 or $1,000. Well, if I digital currency transfer you money over, You have to pay a fee. You have to pay a fee. So this is extra money that the government can make on everybody. Because now, say I don't. Say I give you 200 here, 200 there. Well, the government can say, well, if you give off $500 within the same month, you're going to have to pay for that fee for giving them money, because you have to pay for giving a tax away. So there's money to be made from with the government by also going to digital currency. I mean, look it up.
Yeah.
If somebody dies in your family and if they don't create like a trust fund a certain way, the government gets a cut of it. There's a death tax. There's actually a double death tax. So digital currency is another way for government to get money out of you, because now they know how much money you're giving each person. If I give $10 to Mike, if I give $10 to Silly Fan Man, now they know all the people I give money to. And guess what? They can research those people. It's an easier way to track the people by going digital currency. Otherwise, like you said, Bob, this puts drug dealers out, because drug dealers make their money with cash. So now drug dealers have to go to PayPal. They would have to go to these sites to get money from people. And now when they do that, they know who all their drug dealer customers are, because they will have to use an app to give money. So it's a way to
brilliant, man. So
people don't think about digital currency as it's a way to control everything, because they know every single dollar that you give out, every penny, every quarter. I mean, just look it up, people.
Yeah,
I mean,
man.
The biggest conspiracy.
That's smart, man.
It's power.
That's smart, because now, so now the drug cartels are going to go under, and so the administration, the Bush cartel, now they're going to be, because now they control the poppy fields because of Afghanistan and all the military campaigns in Afghanistan. We control the poppies. Well, we were competing for the poppies with Chinese and the English soldiers taking care of the poppy fields, which is kind of nice, but I'm getting out of here. The only ones in charge of the opium trade, because they're going to get rid of the currency. So they're going to get rid of all the smaller cartels. So all the big cartels like the Bush family and the Clintons can be in charge. Well, the Clintons are more in charge of the prison systems.
Yeah.
The more social security numbers you own.
Yep.
So the Clintons own the prison system, and the Bush cartels, well, they own the opium fields. They're competing with the English. The English are pretty good about, well, don't worry, because George Bush was knighted by the Queen. So it's perfectly fine. He's a president that was knighted by the Queen of England. So, yeah, Eric, you're correct about the promissory notes, getting rid of all that, going digital, because then they can control all the actual drugs.
See what it says on the bottom?
Oh, yeah.
$1 in silver payable to the bearer on demand.
Yeah.
So they don't say that anymore.
Ooh.
It's a silver certificate. Now they just say Federal Reserve note. Value is nothing. So there's that. I don't know who would give me the silver if I showed it. Supposedly someone's supposed to give it to me.
Somebody wrote
demand. Yeah. I always encourage people to keep.
Somebody wrote in the chat that the reason of the short.
Keep your eye on the dollar bill. Yeah.
Virus? Really?
What's that?
That one.
Yeah, see, it's a silver certificate. Yeah, and it says payable on demand. So I demand my silver somehow. I don't know who I'm supposed to demand it from.
Yeah. Bob, why isn't your hat?
Encourage it.
How much is that hat?
I don't need it, man. I'm mentally ill. I've got the Mandela effect. Having now, yeah.
Bob,
so this one is owned. If you guys see the L, so that's the Federal Reserve System that owns this debt.
Yeah, and see, mine doesn't have a letter.
This is Federal Reserve. Oh, it doesn't?
No.
Look for the letter.
It just has a 1.
What is that?
It's a silver certificate.
That's old. What year is that?
I think it's 57.
Oh, that's real. You could exchange it. You got a real one.
Yeah, I don't know who gives me the silver for it.
Oh, there's no Federal Reserve letter on it.
No.
You can go to any bank, I guess.
Screw those guys. And for Joe Torres, here's my hat.
It's not owned by anybody. That's not a. This is a debt paper because it's got the debt. It's got the bank that owns this debt. This doesn't exist. This is nothing. It's just the debt. So this Federal Reserve System owns the debt, but yours don't own a debt. So you've actually got money.
There you go.
You got a real one. Wow.
Amen, Dr. Wu.
Wow, man.
Bob, no, they're saying that. Bob,
amazing.
Because Bob's internet is. Hey, Bob, I ask you a question. Why is your internet down? Is it? Are they shutting down the internet in your area, or is it just your house?
Well, happens that in this area, they all of a sudden have to do some work on the internet. It's shut down all day long. It's supposed to be on at 5, but now it's 7 o'clock. It's almost 8 o'clock, and it's still down. Ironic, right? They must have known I'm coming back. They can't keep it down forever, though. Yeah. Just saying, it's kind of a coincidence, right? I'm like, really? I'm going, okay, really? Wow. I asked the people that stay here, they said they've never had this, ever. Had a maintenance on, an all-day maintenance on the cable. An all-day they're like, never.
I picture like little tiny, like little elves working on it. Ting, ting, ting. All day.
So I'm using a phone.
So, Mike, with all the digital currency we're talking about, do you have any input on that? What you think about it?
Well, yeah, I think it will go to that, which goes back, to the mark. It says no man may buy or sell without it. The only way to fully control or govern that would be a digital currency. And just like Bob brought up, it would be absolute total control on every aspect. Drug system, prison system, it don't matter. Yeah.
And then you can go with the
I do
credit
think
system that China has, and they'll have it here if they aren't already. So then they can decide, oh, well, you're not a good person. You need to lose some of your money.
Oh, you said something. I have to ask you. You said credit thing or credit score, whatever. What is this new thing, right? You get your credit score, you buy it through Experian or something, and if you press the button, you get a credit boost. Your credit score improves. What?
I saw it.
Fuck? But I can just press the button now, and it's going to prove your score. How much money does that cost? I'm serious. Look it up, guys. Look up Experian commercial or something where they're saying that if you hit the boost button, it will improve your score. Well, how is that possible?
What?
The whole word's about money.
Have any of you guys saw that commercial?
No. But I'm sitting on the plane, and the plane that I'm on is advertising their own credit card. Everybody has a credit card. McDonald's will be coming out with a credit card. Everybody is in debt. The idea is to get everybody in debt, get you off of this and get you in debt. You're never getting out of the hole. There is no money being circulated but debt. That's why they're getting rid of the metal. Anything worth of metal, anything like. In fact, Richard has an illegal dollar. You need to be careful. That's illegal. That fights the system. You should put that on a lanyard, man, and wear that dollar and say, this is what it's supposed to be. I can change this for fucking silver when I want to. Precious metal. We don't have that with this. We've got a debtor. Forgive your debtors. Forgive your debtors. Of course, the Bible changed, man.
I just want to show you guys this, and I wasn't joking. Only Experian can raise your FICO score instantly.
Nice.
How? What? Is there some kind of magic that company has that is allowed to change your score? That sounds like cheating. That sounds like corruption.
Well, it sounds like the mob. I mean, the mob's controlling everything at this point. Whatever the mob is, it's just like, hey, you want a better score? Give me a little money here, and I'll make you a better score. You know,
you got a boost.
It came up as an ad.
I'm gonna click on start your boost. I'm just curious. So tell us about yourself. No. So I gotta tell them about yourself. I'm not gonna do this, but amazing what money can do for you. You can even boost your own score with money.
Wow, that's bad. You remember in England, guys? Now in England, on America, if you don't pay your bill, you get a bad credit score. You can't own a house or a car. Mm-hmm. But in England, they get their money. They come to your door. They knock on it, and there's police officers with a clipboard, and they take your television, a radio, your blenders, your guitars, money you owe out of your house. You owe money. They come into your home. Now, Americans, relax. You guys get to get into debt, and you have 7 years, and they're supposed to clear it up. Who fucking knows? Over here, they knock on your door. They get their money. If you in a way, they will put you in handcuffs and put you in jail because you owe money, and they're going to take it from your house. They'll take your car. They'll take your fucking blender, man. Your anything of value. They have a value guy come into your house and mark shit down, and they make it's so sad that they make a reality TV show about it.
Oh my God.
So people get to watch other people get their shit taken away on TV, on BBC, which you also have to pay $100 for at the end of the year in BBC tax. God. So you're paying $100 to watch other people get their debts fixed and paid for by taking shit from their house. So you're so scared in England because you're watching the reality show, you're going to pay your bills. You're going to pay everything. They'll come to your house and take your shit, and it'll be on television. Well, and you got to pay to watch that too. Now remember, $100 a year for that.
Let's not forget who the BBC really are.
Be happy.
Look, Eric, look at this. Let's not forget that this is the statue in front of the BBC, just so anyone doesn't know.
You can draw big screen that fucker.
From that, but that's in front of the BBC. So there you go. Anyways,
look at that. Is that a naked little girl being held by some large person?
Girl or boy,
like a little slave, like a little
boy to me, but either way, yeah.
Some androgynous little person. Doesn't matter your gender. You're still for sale. You're a good slave. Yeah. Good slave.
Well, and that's the other thing with America. They definitely want to keep us in debt. I know for a fact because, they gave out all kinds of free money, quote, free money. And I know some people that got, they each got, I think it was like $5,000 or $7,000. And the wife of the couple said, this isn't right. And the husband said, it's mine, and burned through it. And then, of course, they got a notification from the government. We made a mistake. We need it back. And so they can only give half of it back. But the government said, don't worry, we'll turn it into a loan. See, I just think it's another trick. That's what I think it is. I don't think it was a mistake. Yeah. I think they're getting more and more people in debt constantly.
This is exactly what they're doing. It's exactly what they're doing. Now, again, I don't like repeating this because I don't want people doing it. It ain't going to work for you. But I did it. I paid my shit off. I'm still trying to fight. I'm over here in England, and Barclay owes me $2 million because I used my Social Security number, and I had $2 million sent over from the Federal Reserve, from the New York Federal Reserve, under my Social Security number, and had it transferred over to Barclays. So Barclays has $2 million of my money. And so I've been contacting Barclays. I'm in England. I want to get my $2 million. Can I talk to someone? They said that we sent a small amount back to the Federal Reserve. If I could just tell them how much they sent, like, you guys, they send money to the bank. You got to let them know it was like 5 cents, 3, so they know it's your account. But the Federal Reserve won't tell me how much Barclays sent over to them. So I can't get my $2 million. Having a hard time with that. But I used my social security number. I opened it up. It says, put in your account number. I put my social. It says, put in your routing. I put the routing of the Federal Reserve in New York. $2 million. Boom. Sent straight over. And they got it. And so I'm like, can I have my $2 million now? I want to sell my stocks. They won't give it to me. But as a number, it's just they type a number. I did it. What's that?
I'm gonna send
I'm gonna try to get a print for you guys. I don't want to show.
I'm gonna send you an email of what my I don't want to show the world my number, my Experian number, and I'm about to hit the boost button. So I want to show you a picture of what it is, and so I don't want people to think I'm a liar for doing this, but I don't want anybody to cheat your score. So I just sent you a picture, and then here's a button. Now I'm gonna hit this button. It says start your free boost. So I want to see what it does.
Okay, I'm ready. Everyone, hold on.
Someone, okay, get your results. Okay, well, how do I get my results? Now spinning in a circle. Let me see here.
Good luck, man. Good luck, Eric. I hope you get that loan. I hope you get the loan, man. You get into debt with that.
Now I'm asking which bank
free money.
Your bills. Like what? I don't.
You sure this is Experian? You're not just on some phishing site?
No. No, see now.
No, man.
Up. This is what it's asking now. Now it's asking where do you pay your bills? And it's asking what bank do you want? Now they want you to log into your bank. Why do I want Experian?
I don't think I want to deal with any of that, Eric. I wouldn't.
I'm not gonna go that far, but I was just playing along to see what it does. I'm
You're
curious.
just teasing us. You're just teasing us, and then you pull back.
They're connecting everything like they want your bank account. They try to connect it all into like Richard brought up in China, this
social credit
or whatever. That's I think that could possibly be a dry run for what they want to do to the entire world. I can see that happening. I mean, really.
Yeah. Wuhan's having a lot of problems, man. They've got a couple of floods. A couple of dams are not working right, and they're flooding Wuhan a little bit. Now, Wuhan's upset with America because they had the world's military games just 2 months before the virus broke out, and now China's blaming America. They said we secretly brought the virus to China and tried to get them on, like, kill them with the virus during the military training games in China, which I've never heard of before, like the military Olympics, just 2 months before the big virus breakout. But they said America brought it over. Now they're blaming America, as in Donald Dump Truck is blaming China. But there's no virus.
Right.
I did a video months ago, and I don't know. Again, everything's a theory. Mike was talking about time travel. My theory is this. We know that we're indebted, and most of our debt goes to China. We also know that we are all given a social security number, and we are the currency of America. So it makes sense to me if they tear down our infrastructure, which looks like they're trying to, and then they say, look, we can't get power and water and whatever in these cities. We can't help you really. If you want to get on all these empty cruise ships, because they're not going to do anything at least till next year, and the Hope and what are the other two giant ships they had, the Mercy, just get on those things. We got all these ghost cities in China. Just go over there with your free will, because I don't think they can do a gun and say, get on the boat. They offer you a better life, and you get on and you go there and you're in these ghost cities, and now you've been sold to China and you'll work in their factories and you'll have a life that you can't have here. I think the people that wear the mask that go to the shot will get on a boat. I mean, it's just a natural progression to me. So again, it's free will. They don't force you to do it, but if you don't, they're going to make life here miserable. What does that mean? You're going to have to fend for yourselves. And when I look at the Agenda 21 map and it says this area is unlivable, that's by standards of the beast system. That means they can't get infrastructure, cable and wireless and deliveries of trucks. That means it's, quote, unlivable. It's not. You just have to work it yourself like we used to. This is just my theory, Because when I read the Bible, he says during whatever times are going through, if you know him, he knows you, and he's got you. You'll be fine. And you just got to let it move on. But that doesn't mean you sit back and you put your feet up and eat popcorn. It means you bust your ass and you keep doing his work here on earth, and you're not going to get hit because it's Babylon that's going to get hit with plagues. That's my mind.
Hell yeah. Yeah. Starting with Tom Hanks and his wife, good point. They certainly got the virus. I feel bad for them.
What do you
Felt
think?
Bad for them.
What are your thoughts?
No, that was some good points. I mean, really, it's it goes back in talking again about the this digital currency regarding the government. There would then, especially, just say for instance, it's through a RFID chip or a quantum dot tattoo that is inserted into each person. If you owe the government money, there's no way to get around it. What you owe, as soon as it goes into that account, it's going to go into them. Yep. And you look at China, I mean, largely populated, where they're starting to do this, which you was talking about with the social credit system. That's why I kind of lean toward it's like the dry run, or they're testing it there for what they want the whole world to be under. Even the surveillance, deep state, or I forget what they call it, but these cameras everywhere, and you think, it talks like Lucifer wants to be as God. He doesn't have the omnipresence, but with these things tracking you, literally in you, cameras everywhere, it gives him a counterfeit version of omnipresence where, you can't really hide from nothing. You can't hide from your debt. You can't hide from what you're spending your money on, who you're spending it with. Like you was talking about, it would give the government full control of the drug market because you would bust yourself just in going through who you associate with. I mean, they could bring it all down in a week because it would all be documented.
Yeah.
And a lot of people if you've got Bitcoin, but you have no power or internet, what good's your Bitcoin? That's the way I look at that. That's why I never touched that one.
It's hard to laundry Bitcoin. You can't really laundry it. You can't put it into a machine and clean it. You can take a dollar and you can put it into a bucket of bleach. You just take this dollar and put it in a bucket of bleach. It comes out pure white. It's kind of nice. Then you can do a print on both sides. You can actually make your own dollar. People could do it all the time. You didn't hear that from me. You just use the same dollar, and they have red threads and all the natural stuff you can use. Just saying, you can do things like that for counterfeiting, but this means nothing anymore. That's why they're trying to go to eCoin, so you can't even counterfeit anymore. But they don't.
Yeah, we lost Dr.
They have they're going to have an algorithm you can't break. I guarantee someone's going to break it. It's going to crash. If it's in a computer system, someone's going to hack it. I don't care who they think they are. Hack. It's going to get hacked.
Robert, they just had a major hack on Twitter with all these accounts that were blue check marks, and most of them are invested in Bitcoin. They talked about it a lot. And somebody went in and they said, hey, if you send us money in Bitcoin, we'll double it and all this stuff. And hundreds of thousands, if not millions of dollars, people sent, and now it's gone because you can't track Bitcoin once it's gone. There's no takebacks.
Yeah, I mean, because if you have a time traveler, it's actually, I'm sure I bet that's a child's job for this person. So, this whole thing is, again, if you're looking at changes in real time and even in your own pictures, this person can hack Bitcoin pretty fucking easy. Could do it from the future. You know what I mean? Can do it from the past. Can set a fucking backdoor before it even gets set out. Can go in the past, put a backdoor in. Everyone knows what a backdoor is in a program, and just walk his way in there and fucking hack it and fucking steal crash the whole system. It's that easy. We joke about, is it God or is it whatever? God don't have hands. We do. God teaches you how to ride a bicycle. So it's both. You got to remember, like Mike's talking about the Bible is correct. It's both. So these smart fuckers think that they're smart and they're trying to get ahead of the snowball, but they're not going to get ahead of it. They keep trying. People are coming around going, there is no virus. I'm joking with a lady today in a laundromat. She's like laughing when I say virus. She under her breath, there ain't no virus. I'm like, they know it. People aren't waking, even though they don't have the Mandela effect or whatever effect you want to call that goddamn thing. They're waking up. Even the downsies are waking up, man. Everybody's waking up in a different way. This thing isn't working. They're failing. They're failing. The government, be happy that they're failing. China is trying to lock down Hong Kong, and now Britain's trying to bring all the Hong Kongese over here. And, they don't want to leave. They don't want to leave Hong Kong. These guys we're not leaving Hong Kong. They're going to fight the Chinese over there. Hong Kongese are going to fight the Chinese. So there's another little battle that's going to be taking place real soon. China's in a fucking world of hurt. This shit's crashing in on them, and their dams are crashing in on them.
Way I look at it, whatever it is, whether it's the Bible's coming true or the people that altered the Bible are trying to make their ending come true, regardless, the main message is there, and that if you can find God and your own spirituality and then figure out how to navigate through it, it doesn't have to end the way they say, not for everyone. And that's what I'm doing. I'm, as they say, creating my own reality. And it's not a matter about finding someone else that's creating a reality and sending them money. I'm seeing a lot of that lately, and it troubles me because everyone needs to figure out how to be self-sufficient. And by that, I mean, figure out a way to do it yourself or connect with people that you can actually connect with to do that. And it doesn't necessarily mean mailing money to someone and in hopes that one day you'll make that connection. Because I think we're running out of time. I don't know how much we have, but I think it's important to get your eyes on the prize very soon. That's the way I look at it.
7 deaths, 7 deaths, 7 corona deaths.
Let me give you guys an update on the experiencing. Got to the end of the experience, and what it does is it didn't give me a higher score. It just said if you make 3 more payments on this, your score will be boosted. What a bunch of.
So it's just telling you how to do it.
It's just telling you how to do it. Just toss a little of this at us.
It's telling you to pay your debts. It's just telling you to pay your debts.
That's why the Bible has changed from trespasses to debts, because it's all about the debt now. Forgive our debts.
Yeah. Forgive your debts.
My first video I did on the Mandela effect, I brought that up, Ceiling Fan, man, how it changes the meaning completely. To me, it did, because when I first noticed it, I was sitting right here on this couch and just sat here for probably well over 5 minutes. Like, I knew it wasn't what I memorized it as 3 years before that. And that was my thinking. It made it more about, trespasses being sin. This just, to me, it completely changed what's trying to be said there.
Mm-hmm.
Your debtors. Forgive your debt, because God knows you're going to drag them through the streets. You're going to take the bankers, tie them up by their feet, put them in the back of a quad or a 3-wheeler, and just drag them through the mud, and just keep dragging them around. Let them roll around in the mud for a while. Strip them naked, put them on an island, hand them a butter knife. Say, live, survive. Here's a butter knife. No money, no nothing. Survive, banker. Survive. Here's your solid gold fucking sink, Donald Trump, off your fucking private jet. We'll leave it with you on the island. Let's see what it does for you. You can't use it. You could use it to make maybe a knife that'll go dull in a day. You could use that precious metal all you want. Give them all the gold they want on the island. Use it to make tools. Use a hammer out of gold and see how fucking long that soft ass metal lasts. Give them their fucking gold.
He actually it's common about that. It says that, and what I find interesting is you talked about like 3 years ago, Mike. My teachings, I was born and raised Jewish. So I was taught just to read the Old Testament, not the rest of the Bible. So my first run through was like a year, almost 2 years ago. And then when I saw the changes, I went back and they were obvious changes to me because I had just read it. It's not like I'd memorized it in my childhood.
Exactly.
That was like my first run through. And so when things were changing, it's like you said, it knocked me for a loop. But what I found is I'm not trying to be that Bible thumper. I don't even believe I'm a Christian. I'm just me because I'm sick of the labels. I found God. I found Jesus. That's my path. And whether you're religious or not, and whether this book's been modified or not, it's in here. Like our past is in here, our present is in here, and our future's in here. And whether or not you're religious or not, if you haven't cracked it open, get in here because it helps. It teaches you like what's coming, more or less, and what's happened and where we came from. It's fascinating. It doesn't have to be religious. You don't even have to believe in it. It's like that guidebook from Beetlejuice. It'll help you figure this shit out. That's all I've been saying,
I like that.
Right. And you brought up, I don't put a label on myself either. Just like you said, this is what I believe, and I don't. You don't need a label. Just like you said, that's a means to cause division. You look at how much just these labels cause people to turn against one another. I mean, it's true.
And once you found God, you don't even need this book. This book just helps you navigate it. You can talk to him all the time. I talk to him I don't need that book. It's nice to reference things so I can learn stuff out of it, but that's not what makes your spirituality at all, or the Quran or any of them. It's whatever comes out of you once you find it. And it's something you can't explain to someone until they've done it. And the only way you can do it is you just literally have to be at some point in your life where you can't figure it out on your own. You get down on your knees and you talk and you ask, are you real? And I did it. And dude, that changed my life like immediately. It's shocking. And my life's been amazing the last 3 years, even though the whole world's crashing down. Or B system.
Fucking hate it. I'm sorry. I love him and hate him. Hate him and love him.
Hey, it's a
I love him and hate him. People say, "Can you give me a fucking honest opinion about God?" I said, "I hated him. I don't like my drill sergeant either. I hated him, but drug counselors either. But they'll save your life. You hate them, so you hate him and love him at the same time." People say, "I hate God." I said, "I'm with you on that. I'm fucking down with you, man. I walked away from everything because that son of a bitch told me to. I hate him." But you gotta understand, he's still in charge. He's still like your dad.
Mm-hmm. I'm gonna
he eat you or hit you, but he made you learn.
I'm gonna show.
He loves you more than anything, and that's why he'll do things to like correct you. It's just like if your kid ran into the street, you yank him back and you yell at him. It's the same thing.
I just try to keep it honest. I know a lot of people are kind of like me.
That's a blurry picture.
Oh God! Oh God!
As kids now, I want to show you guys. This is our backyard at the apartment building that we lived in Kermit. Yeah. We never lived in a pink house. Look at Bob carrying that log. He's ready to hit somebody.
Is Dad holding a cell phone? Is Dad holding a tablet in the fucking 70s?
Yeah. What does he have in his hand? You're right.
Good. Well, it's 80.
It's like a tablet.
It's a blurry picture. What is he holding in the 80s?
I've never seen him hold anything in his hand. It looks like a tablet.
Usually, it's always a Coors beer can in his hand.
Yeah, it was. I could have swore he's holding a beer can, a Coors beer can. That looks like a handheld tablet. What the hell is that? I told you how Dad I had a picture at the house. Dad was sitting with a goat. Remember that picture?
Maybe he's the time travel you were talking about.
He was sitting in the back of the truck with a rifle and a goat. We're deer hunting. We don't hunt goats. There's no goat hunting. What the hell's that got a goat?
And then you guys can probably tell what is me in this picture.
Yeah, with the red in the middle. Oh my God, Eric. Wow.
These are great photos.
The other guy, he turned into a meth head.
Now,
Crankhead, I think that was.
Crankhead. And then this is the last one. This is my heyday.
Oh shit.
Nice.
Oh, 80. Look at the football player. Bright red, Eric. Oh, those are tight, man. You got Tom Cruise, man. You got Tom Cruise.
What?
Yeah. You got Tom Cruise. Is that a little baby bulge you got there? What is that? Did you stuff your pants? Did you stuff your pee-pee? Is that what that is? That's your jock.
Hey,
yeah, where's your pants?
Looks like a boy band. What?
Where's the pads in your pants? I played football. I looked like a Hulk I had pads coming out of everywhere in my pants. You look like you got skinny jeans, like skinny jeans.
Oh, the boy band. That's the best.
You boy band.
No, wait, who's in this photo? Who are these guys, Eric?
You've been Tom Cruise, man.
Who's in this photo, Eric?
One of my buddies I grew up with named Jeremy Brown.
Yeah.
And the other guy, his name is also Brian. I forgot his last name. Now, Jeremy Brown had a parent, or he lived with his grandparents because his parents were drug addicts in Hawaii, so they kicked him out. He lived in Kermit. But what's cool is his parents own, remember, Bob, they own a bakery shop. So every day for lunch, we used to take off to their donut shop because he used to make us bread pizza.
Yeah.
I want this to be a thumbnail. I want to be in that one. That's a good one.
That's a boy band right there. That's a boy band.
We got to name that. I got to make that some thumbnail. That's awesome.
Where's the gold chain? The gold chains.
Oh, sorry.
Oh, Eric, I watched the submarine movie last night. Fuck me, it's still good, but the submarine movie with the one you like a lot. You know what I'm talking about? The U-boat. They get the what's it called? U-boat something?
Greyhound. It's called Greyhound.
No. The other movie. There's another movie.
U571.
U571.
Which adds up to what?
13.
13.
Oh.
Yeah.
I'm gonna.
Yeah. Anyway, so in the movie, they're wearing their dress whites. Now, I was in the Navy. They're wearing their dress whites, and they've got turtlenecks, dress white with turtlenecks. We didn't have turtlenecks. Officers didn't wear turtlenecks. Star Trek has turtlenecks, and now the Navy officers in that movie has turtlenecks, and they got pleats that come down in an angle. Pleats in an angle. Only European uniforms had angled pleats.
That's good, Bob. That is
so. If you look at the uniform,
I was in the Marines, so I'm familiar with the naval dress code as well. Because
the turtlenecks, man, dude, you got to see the Navy uniforms with the straight up, like a preacher, round turtleneck.
Right.
It's kind of. I'm like, I don't remember the turtlenecks.
I don't know.
That's high. And they have, you have your pleats, right? They have a pleat running, dude, from an angle. It's an angle from the neck. There was no angled pleats on fucking uniforms, man. There's no angled pleats. No. They're straight up and down. You know what I'm talking about. You're supposed to be able to cut paper with your pleats when you iron them, man. They're straight up and down. They're not in angles. European uniforms had angles. So how does a European influence get involved in American uniforms now? I'm like, oh, man. Do you remember the 1800s ever having a Prussian spike on their infantry, like riding horses with a spike on their helmet in the West? No. If you guys get your Time Life books, get your Time Life cowboy books, cowboys, soldiers, Native Americans, the whole. Oh, that's cool pictures.
That's me.
Dude, you're ex-Marine, go get them Time Life books. You're gonna have a field day with this yourself. Also, they have a water hose. in the West, a rubber water hose. That's
Where did you say the spiked helmets are?
they're spraying these kids. The Prussian. World War I Prussian had a spike on their helmets. Only Prussians had those. Germans, Prussians, same shit. Krauts had their spikes. And they have these American soldiers wearing helmets with spikes in the West in the 1800s. American infantry. Bullshit. They had cowboy hats. Yeah. They had cowboy hats, or they have the round cap. You don't talk about the round cap, you know. Right. Mostly cowboy hats, unless you're like a gunner. You know, you're a gunner, then you're gonna have a specialized cap, but you're not wearing no Prussian spike helmet. And those are in the Time Life books collection. You got to go look up yourself. The cowboy collection, all the Western collections. You're gonna go there. You're ex-Marine, Mike. Go in there, find the Time Life books, open them up. You and your dad, your cousins, your friends, your vet buddies go. Right. There's the helmets they have in the West, in the United States of America. A couple of them are wearing them in the infantry books. I'm like, huh? I worked at Fort Lewis Historical Museum, and that's Prussian, only Prussian, and ever been Prussian, ever been.
Yeah, I don't recall that.
They have spike helmets.
I got somebody watching us live from the Twitch channel. Awesome. That's a game channel, basically. So somebody's watching us live from there. That's awesome.
We love Twitch.
Welcome to
Twitch. Less coffee, less twitching.
Oh, just so everybody knows real quick, I know it's 12:27.
There's the American uniforms look really weird. Is that Americans?
It kind of Tom Hanks to me. I mean, this guy's looking so
nice, clean beard.
Does that say American on it? Wait, no. Seriously, is that American?
It says. Well, I can click on the article and see where it goes.
Yeah.
Call of Duty. Wait, let's see.
Oh man, because if those are Americans, that's so wrong.
Let's see.
Oh God, that's American. It's so fucking wrong in the uniforms, man.
I don't know why they have that.
No. Yeah, man. That doesn't resonate with me whatsoever.
But this is a U.S. Marine officer here. Sure it is.
Oh no. Okay, Marine, Mike, tell me if that's an American officer, if you ever recognize one. No.
It's called
Does that look American?
They're called pickle hobs.
No, not at all.
No.
And here's a Latin American. Everyone's getting spiked helmets. Check it out. That's in Latin America.
I'm going to shut up and let Mike talk. Mike, can you explain to them this uniform, please? Can you tell them no?
No. Well, in basic, I mean, we had to take classes knowing the history, the uniform codes. You know what I'm talking about. And this still no.
I know.
It doesn't resonate with me. I hadn't heard of it.
What does this guy have? A ceiling?
No.
Yeah, what is that? It's no more insane, that's for sure. This is
No.
That's Latin America.
No, that's
Latin America doesn't have Prussian helmets either. There was no Prussian helmets. God damn, boy. See, there were no Prussian spike helmets.
How about that one? That's a good one. Lampshades.
Wow.
Fantastic. These have probably always been around. I just didn't know it. That's awesome. They're hiding their little hat.
So, what country is this?
Well, these are Prussian, Chilean, but these older pictures. This is a U.S. Marine right there.
U.S. Marine.
Wow,
man! Look at them.
That's Tom Cruise right there, Bob. That's Tom Cruise. That guy's been Tom Cruise.
Well, look at them. Look at them sleeves, man. What's on them sleeves? What rank is that, dude? What is this person?
I think you could put a tea cup on that hand, and then maybe crumpets or something over there, or, you know.
That's UK. Someone says, yeah, that's European. That's UK. Yeah, correct. That's not American. It's not. Americans were boring with their uniforms, especially in the 1800s. They weren't that flamboyant. Oh God.
Tom Cruise.
Yeah, man. They got pretty. They were sure. That's a pretty Marine I saw, though. He was pretty.
So,
just
hold on.
Oh God.
Mike, do you understand what we're saying when we're calling somebody Tom Cruise? Anybody's watching us know that when somebody's soft, it used to be hardcore, we start calling them Tom Cruise. Just so everybody knows what we're talking about.
Okay. Because Tom Cruise used to be badass. He had a white shirt and sunglasses sliding across the floor. Now he has a pink shirt with no sunglasses. He's Tom Cruise. He's feminine looking. So now a lot of the men are feminine, like Tom Cruise looking in the uniform. Yeah. So, wow.
Yeah.
This pit helmet is everywhere, man. It was everywhere, man.
Hey,
it was a short-lived helmet. It wasn't that. Didn't live that. It was World War II, or World War One. I mean, World War One. It was done. It was a short-lived helmet. It wasn't that long. Wow, Persian only.
Just a couple of future announcements, just real quick. Tomorrow on the Horror Talk show, we're going to be talking. We're going to be talking zombie movies with Viz from the Walking Dead Now show. He's going to be coming on, and anybody knows that when he was on our channel, he was awakening to a real awakening to the Mandela effect. So that's going to be exciting. And then Wednesday, we're going to go back to a topic, Bob, that we talked about before, and we might have a guest jump on. We're going back to the 5G talk. We're gonna do another show about 5G, and some people like this guy, some people hate him. But you know what? We're all here trying to make friends again.
Wow.
He's trying to wake up. He's gonna probably jump on and give me his take of 5G. So we're gonna be doing a hardcore talk of more deep into, is 5G a real conspiracy, or is it just another way for a company to make money for faster speeds? So we're going to be doing that hardcore on Wednesday. So if you're into this 5G, people, please join in on Wednesday's 5G talk. I'm not going to tell you I'm for it or against the conspiracy. So if you haven't seen my previous video, that's fantastic. So come back Wednesday and I'll give you an opinion, because I used to work in the industry. So I'll be talking about hands-on of what I've seen. So this Wednesday, 5G talk. So.
Nice, dude. I know who it is too. Good, man. He get him going.
Well, you know, I jumped
on that shit. He's a good talker on that. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I jumped on his channel and he asked if you know, can we do 5G? You know, on my channel, his channel, like a two-parter. So I'm like, okay, I'll start one on my channel, and then I'll jump on his, and I'll give you guys my honest opinion. And it's just an opinion. Yeah. It's not where you guys can rip my head off saying,
I just want to squash that
conspiracy, then he's not really awakening. It's not about that. I'm just giving you my opinion about the 5G, and I'll give you an explanation where I'm coming from. So that's Wednesday. We don't need to discuss it anymore because it's going to be you can talk 20 hours on 5G if you really wanted to, but that's Wednesday. So,
he does communications in general, Eric. He does he knows all the He's the one who talks to Smoking Gun about calling the moon, and there's not particles to carry the electrical he'll talk about that. Ask him that. I'll ask him a question about, dude, tell me how you call the moon, and he'll go into detail how it's impossible to call the moon. So that's kind of cool by that too, for the flat earthers and everybody, the anti. Yeah, that'd be cool.
Yeah. I know, and I know Richard in the past was talking about doing 5G, so I know he'll have fun Wednesday about 5G.
Yeah.
We can do that breakdown we already did on that one video that was put out by the people on the bridge. I think that was really interesting.
Show that. Yeah, I want that.
And bring it out for that show.
Yeah, that's
perfect.
That's perfect. I want people to see that video, and we'll get in more depth. But since we got Mike, the show's only got like another 20 minutes or so. So, Mike, is there anything that you've seen lately that you talked about on your show that maybe you could bring up here that we don't know about?
Well, not really. I mean, I cover a lot of the things you do, especially, regarding like the Mandela effect, but, and others have kind of talked about it too. It's gotten so ridiculous. Some of these things that have changed that, people still just, cannot see. And it's, I think Brian had talked about, kind of like lines been drawn in the sand, and it's, I made a statement, I'm going to say like 7-8 months ago, that the attitude and the way Bob, you and Richard had talked about, you saw relating it like to someone taking the update, like this look, like almost something takes them over. Yep. I've seen that as well several times, and I made the statement, getting into what I say, that it was the people that can see this, that we were becoming the enemy of all creation is how I worded it. And I got a lot of slack for it, and people, you're exaggerating. Well, now a lot that said that are like, you don't really seem so crazy now. And, it goes into what I was saying with, I think that most that they literally cannot, that they're blinded. And I do relate that to a spiritual thing, them being blinded by it. But it's just something that time's going to come. And I'm not trying to influence people one way or the other, but I'd be ready for that. They're turning on us now, and I mean, unfortunately, I don't think it's going to get better.
Give it time. Yeah, it gets worse before it gets better. Yeah. Just know it, expect it. Expect worse. Yeah, you're a Marine, dude. It's worse before it gets better.
That's right.
Yeah.
Well, and somebody said to me yesterday, it's like watching a jellyfish like flop, because we're getting attacked by all these rules and stuff, and people are like kind of fighting it, but then they're giving into it, and then it's kind of like we're flipping and flopping. And I said to I said to her, it's funny because the jellyfish is the only creature that supposedly doesn't have a brain, so it's kind of like that's what you see going on there. It's like, eventually, so much is going to come at these people. We're at crossroads every day. We make decisions every moment of our life. We're making those that's why they write so many songs about the crossroads and movies and TV shows about the crossroads, because we make these decisions every day, every moment of our life. And we're eventually going to make enough decisions to where you can't sit on the fence. You're going to either have to go this way or that way. And right. That's what it's about. So we just have to get ready. Fill your oil lamps, as they say.
Yeah, get ready for it. Be smart. Don't pick your battle. Pick your battle. It might not be your battle to fight. It might be another one. So always be reserved. Yeah. Viking rule number 1. They would say Vikings charge in. No, Vikings pick a battle. They say, this ain't ours. Let's go. Pack up the boats. We're leaving. We're going to another area. They pick their battle. They're not suicidal. Pick your battle. It's not worth going to jail. I tell people, because that's what they want. They get you mad, they put you in jail. If you're gonna fight a battle, be smart. Go into a place with a group of guys with masks on, then take them off in the storm. When everybody's in line at the same time, then take them off. Do a sync, and everyone takes them off at the same time. You can't stop everybody. All the cashiers will look at each other like, "What do we do? Just bring them through." Pick your battle. Do it smart.
Exactly.
Just do it.
Do it smart. Don't get yourself thrown out of your house. Don't get kicked down the street. Listen, I'm in a tough situation where there's a lot of things I can't do because I have a family member who works for the city, where if I get arrested or any kind of a thing, this person in my family cannot work in this department if there's an open case on me, even with a ticket. So
and then the show is over.
This is the way I feel about this, Eric, is that, again, just like you, we're all on our own path. Yeah. And I understand where you're at right now. This is the time you're allowed to sit on the fence right now. This is it. Yeah. And so as life changes, decisions will be to where you're going to have to make decisions one way or the other. And if that's not your moment right now, that's okay. Because maybe you're supposed to be doing what you're doing and building up some kind of stability to where you can do something off of the system. That's the hardest part, is this leap of faith. I saw high 5G, and they were asking, what are my thoughts of what's coming? And basically, I live my life the way I've always been taught, because I grew up in California, and we always had like emergency stuff by the closet in case of an earthquake, and we need to get out, whatever. So I look at it this. You can look at this book and say, this is the way it's going to end. I don't know. But I do know that whoever's in charge of this new world order, they're really running for it. And their world order is going to be everything we just discussed, all the negative stuff. So if they can push that through, which they might not be able to, I want to plan for it just in case. So that way, if something does go down, I'll be out of Babylon, hopefully, and it can go down, and I can wait, and then we can go in and take over.
You're right.
Yeah.
I did a battle against my strike.
I did it.
I fought it in an email behind the scenes, made a phone call. So we could fight using this format right here, talking about it. That's fighting.
God helps those that help themselves. And that doesn't mean I want what's mine. It means you need to do something. You can't just sit around and wait for it to happen. You have to do something.
Don't ever give up. There's always ways to fight. You don't have to fight one way. There's different ways, and you can win.
Well, yeah, and number one rule is anybody in the military would say right now, when you're battling against somebody against narcotics, they're on drugs or on narcotics, painkillers, you're not going to win. So if they have a job they have fucking medical with, and their medical is supplying their opiates or their Vicodin or whatever they're going to have, they're going to wear their fucking mask. If they're not going to quit the job or fight because they got to get medical and they need their drugs. So you're not going to win. So you're going to fight somebody that's on drugs, you're going to lose. They're going to go through you tooth and nail to get their fucking pills. So you go to somebody that's sitting on a counter that's got carpal tunnel, and they go to their doctor, and their doctor gives them a nice ready supply of freaking painkillers, and then they're wearing their mask. They don't want to lose their job because then they lose their painkillers for their hands. They're addicted to them. And you're not going to get them out of that mask because they're going to lose their pills. So you're going to fight a bear. You're going to fight a grizzly, and you're not going to win. Because you're getting in the way of their fucking pills. And a lot of Americans are addicted to drugs.
Hold on. Leonardo DiCaprio fought a bear in his movie, won an Oscar. And he won.
Yeah.
And his fat face is obviously addicted to some kind of fucking opiate because he's got the opiate chubby face.
Yeah, but that wasn't even him because I saw him die in Titanic, so it couldn't have been him, Eric.
Yeah.
It was a clone.
He's got the opiate chubby face. So he's on his drugs.
Actually, Sonny Fat Man and Mike, you're both is it weekly shows with Airborne Saint? I know.
Yeah.
Fat Man does his on Wednesdays.
Yeah, I'm on Wednesday.
Now you do it too, Mike. You're on a weekly with him also, correct?
I was. I haven't been doing. I've been doing a show on my channel.
What do you have a set date on your shows that you do, or you just do it randomly?
No, not really. I try to give at least like a day or two notice, like in the community section, just put a post. But it's really just when people contact me, agree to come on, or if something comes up that, I feel needs to be talked about, I'll kind of just put them together quick, just go on solo by myself. But I try to have a guest, just, getting around everyone's schedule and stuff. It don't always work out how I, plan it to, but
nice.
But no set schedule.
I'm putting his YouTube page right here in the chat, guys. That's his. And then let me try to find Airborne Saints link so people can watch. Now, last week, Sonny Fat Man, you guys did it on Thursday, not on Wednesday.
Yeah, he had to fly. He does piloting on helicopters or something.
So basically, It's still on Wednesdays.
Yeah, and I also have been doing a show with Rose 777 every Wednesday from 9 to 10. So last time
you go to Airborne Saint from 7 to 8, then you jump on 9, then you jump on. Damn, dude.
You know what? I talked about it. My wife was like, I was saying I can't do this, and she says, "Well, you get it all done in one day, so that's pretty much. It's not bad. Then I have the rest of the week to work outside." Although this is Eric's house. I don't know if you noticed. I took over your spot, Bob.
So this Wednesday you're gonna be on Rose, not your channel.
No, this time it's on hers. It was supposed to be on hers, but I wanted to do this thing about space and all that, and I had too many tabs. So we're supposed to be on her channel Wednesday 9:00, and then of course Airborne at 7, and then you guys at 11. So
and then I'm putting that.
That's a lot.
Yeah. Nice. And by the way, Mike's a vet, guys. He's a vet, so give him some respect. It's very rare to find vets with the effect. Can't find it. We got Lucky Boger. I think he's ex-Navy.
Did you talk to Mike about the star and the change on the Medal of Valor and stuff?
No, I gotta ask him about that. He's gotta one day we'll just have him back on. We'll go back over that. That way he can go back and remember what he remembers. About the uniform, because when you're out for a while, you got to go back and rethink. Now, he might know about the Medal of Honor. The Medal of Honor to me is upside down. It used to be the single point up on top, because I worked at the Museum of Flight. I remember Medal of Honor, and it was a single point on top. I don't know if Mike, if you remembered, if it was single top. I remember everyone has different memories. So Eric still got a silver leg on fucking C-3PO. So everyone's got different memory. So the single spike was the top for me. And now it's got the 2 spikes on top. Do you remember which one? Do you remember? And there's no wrong answer, dude. You probably never got one, so you don't.
I'm not real familiar with it. I've looked at them, but like you said, naturally, I never got one. But
again, I say it's never because I work.
It's not real.
Yeah. A lot of guys like that. I worked at a museum, so of course I saw it all the time. A regular military isn't looking at things like that and looking at officers, because you're looking away from an officer. You're not walking towards an officer. You're walking away from an officer. So you're not memorizing an officer's uniform. I had to do it for work.
Right.
It's a big difference.
Right.
He wrote mandatory orange mask in the U.S. Orange. People have to wear orange. I'm just right. Robert Alley wrote next week mandatory orange masks in the U.S. What do you mean orange? Does it have to be orange?
I don't know about that. Really? It'd be a smart thing for them to do. It would really piss people off because everyone's got their own designs now, looking fucking cool. The smartest thing to do.
You can even buy our design.
Yeah, you can buy ours. The smartest thing to do is take all the pacifiers away from the babies, let them cry for a while, and then give them all the same color. It's just kind of stupid. Take all the masks away and demand one color. That would really piss off
black, right? Orange is.
I don't think that applies. That's prison color. That's a prison color. That's not going to fly. I wish they would do that. That would be an advantage. Let's hope for that. Because I can't see nobody giving into that. They're not. They're gonna. Everyone's pushed. Everyone's got a push point. Even the downsies around here, they got the push point too. There's the mask. Promote the mask there.
Which we don't encourage anyone to buy other than to support Eric. Buy something else. Don't buy the mask. Sorry, Eric. I can't do it.
Eric's got to make a living, man. He's unemployed right now.
Fine. He can make a living on something besides the mask. Make that into underwear or something,
You don't want a mask that's saying that you're going to be turning into a zombie if you wear it?
No, I don't put one on. I can't.
It's a statement. It's a statement.
I know.
They will ask you to take it off. You wear that, they will ask you to take it off. You win.
I'm all for supporting you, Eric. Buy a shirt, buy a hat.
You win with this mask, guys. I'm going to help Eric promote it. I don't make a dime off it, so I'm going to make sure he promotes it. They will ask you to take it off. Please take off that mask. You're scaring the children.
I'm not promoting it. Sorry, I can't.
Wear it in church. Wear it everywhere.
And that's the thing. I just freaking hate sellouts too.
The churches are open in England.
I love that.
The churches are open in England, guys. That's weird, but they're open in England. The churches are actually opened up finally. They were closed the entire time I was here. They're opened up. America, still closed. Still closed. I don't care what. I'm a pagan, so whatever your religion is, it's closed.
Brian will not like this, guys. No. Listen, when we're creating stuff and they had a mask on there, I just thought I'd be stupid to put 2 zombie pictures on it. So, okay.
I don't know.
Don't take it seriously.
I see Brian is too clean shaven, so I can't make a comment. He's got a boy's face. It's just like a child, like almost female. It's very soft. I wonder if he uses a kind of a lotion.
Oh my goodness.
I want to ask him, does he use a lotion? He's very clean, very, very fine boy face.
Hey, did you notice? Did anybody watch his show? He hit me again. The organization with the white hats, I used to think was called Ku Klux Klan, and now there's no L in the first word. It's Ku Klux Klan.
Really?
Yeah,
really?
That was up last night. I saw it on his stream.
No. I'm still getting over Cousin It's with the ITT.
Oh yeah, Cousin It's on the Addams Family.
I'm not joking. I watched the Addams Family last night. I just got her off the plane. I was laying on the couch flipping something. I watched the Addams Family, and they had a show on Lurch, whatever Lurch. His mom was showing up. And he's speaking like regular English, like most of them. I never spoke any more words than maybe a word. And then they have Cousin It comes in and it says ITT. And I'm like, this is really crazy. This is crazy. Even the Addams Family is just throwing me off, man.
And then the one that really messed me up was we found out on this show Wednesday. If you guys haven't looked into her, go back and look. She no longer looks evil. She just looks like a little girl having a bad day. It's like she's no longer evil looking. It's weird. It's Tom Cruise in a way.
Opposite of Tom Cruise. She's the opposite. Look normal. A normal kid. It's like, I'm not afraid of her no more. She's not evil or sinister. Nobody is. They're all Tom Cruise. Everybody except for Tom Hanks, who's going over the top trying to be machismo. He's trying so hard to be the ultimate captain. The ultimate captain. He's making all the right.
That's how he got taken over by the pirates. He sucks as a captain.
He's always the captain. He's always the top of the fucking top of the best. Tom Hanks. He must be the time traveler that's changing everything because of his DNA was sent to fucking CERN's little circle of fucking fun. Yeah, he's the guy. Let's all bow to Tom Hanks. He's the new Antichrist. Boy, I can't wait for his next video, his next movie, his hero movie. He was the first one to get AIDS.
Yeah, I forgot he did that too. Shit. They've just been using him as such propaganda. It's crazy.
He with the face of AIDS. He's making. Oh no! No offense to gay people. We have a dead gay brother. He was a gay.
Hopefully, he gets internet nice coming up next Wednesday. This Wednesday. We hear about every third word, Bob. Just letting you know. So
that's
I'm always shut down.
Don't worry. Hopefully by Wednesday you'll have your internet back, or by tomorrow you have your internet back. And what's this? Magic Johnson's shirt is magical.
Yeah, the one guy that gets AIDS and then has never had a problem, and his name is Magic Johnson. I mean, give me a break. It's like Waynell Sexton. It's the same kind of garbage. Magic Johnson.
No. No. So I'm battling the queen over here, guys. I'm playing my chess game. I'm taking out the queen. This is a comic book only. I mean no disrespect to the Queen of England since I'm over here. But this is a chess game to me, and I'm taking the queen out because I'm the king. Gone. The royal family's out of here. Come back in the town. England's mine. Belongs to me. It's mine.
England's yours? Man.
Yeah, it belongs to me.
Yeah,
it's mine.
you are the rightful king, and I'm
rightful king of England wins.
Did you weren't allowed to take any of your weapons? I'm assuming, so you're gonna have to get some new ones.
I brought them all. Well, they're working tools. They're not weapons. They're used for carpentry.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Oh, that's right.
Yes, you can't have weapons in England. These are carpentry tools only.
Excellent.
Yeah, tomahawks are excellent for carpentry. Yeah.
So you had no problems getting your staff over?
No, I've got my staff. My staff helped me out. Helped me get on everything. Because they thought I was I am sight impaired. So I didn't lie. The secret of the Mandela effect is don't lie. I'm sight impaired. It don't impair me. I can get by just fine. But I had it. I said, I'm sight impaired. They said, oh, we'll give you a ride to your next plane. Have a seat. They gave me a ride to the next plane. They did my tickets for me. They put it in the scanner for me. Thank you. I had my no mask on, my disability card, my veteran's disability card, and my staff. And I got by just like a king. Everyone took care of me the whole time. Again, you could not wear a mask, guys, as long as you just use a card. Just say a card. People will bend over backwards for the disabled. So
we went out, was it yesterday? We went to the grocery store, no mask, no one troubled us. We went to the feed store for our chickens, no one troubled us. And we went to the post office and no one troubled us. And I truly believe it has to do with attitude also. Like just before, and I know sometimes it's a bit tiring. Sometimes you just want to go and get a thing of milk, right? And you don't always want to worry about a fight. But the thing is this is a war we're in, and we need to stand up. And so we got out of the car, we stood up tall and puffed out our chests, and we just went in with our head held high. And the people that are wearing masks, they're announcing ahead of time, I'm afraid. I'm afraid of everything. It's not their fault. They've been programmed. I get it. I don't hate them. If they dare look at me, I smile. Most of the time, they avert their eyes, they part ways, and they act like, again, it's not the droid you're looking for. They don't approach us at all. I had one incident where someone approached us, and I pulled out the paperwork about the proclamation and started talking to him. I know what you mean. You're talking about the proclamation. Here it is. Let me explain to you at the third page here where it says, if you have a condition, and he walked away. He's like, never mind. So it's like they don't want to confront you, and if they do, you don't have to get in their face and yell things and throw things and say America, whatever. You just talk normal to them, and it goes away. They don't really bother you. The problem is they're trying this great divide, and now I'm finding that they're making it look like if you don't wear a mask, you're a Trump supporter. And so they're trying to pigeonhole us into that. And that's what's happening in America right now. I've had some people talk to me about it because they're trying once again to divide us. And it has nothing to do with that, but they're trying to put us in some kind of, once again, label us as something. So it's not easy, but you can do it. It's not easy, but I do it because I'm worried about my kids' future. And if we don't fight it, that's going to be their world. And I don't want that. So I'm doing what I can in my little way.
Nice. Say yes, sir, no, sir. I say yes, ma'am, no, ma'am, yes, ma'am, yes, sir, no, sir. Mike knows he's ex-military. Yes, sir, no, sir. It's ingrained in us. Yes, ma'am, no, ma'am. I'm sorry, ma'am, I'm disabled. Oh, okay. Yes, ma'am, no, ma'am. I'm disabled vet. Okay, no problem. Done. They let you go. America is like that. I mean, I know you guys are vets. Well, Eric is, but it's easier for us. I get it. We're a little bit easier for us because we say we're vets. I'm a disabled vet. They shut up fast. I know it's harder for Richard. Richard's like, I'm a disabled citizen, and he shows his card, and you explain it to them, which is what you're supposed to do, and they might learn from it and go, hey, honey, why don't we get a card? I'm tired of wearing the mask too. I talked to the guy in the store, and he was just fine.
I don't even say that I'm disabled. I printed. You can get it right from your own state's website. I printed the Washington State Governor's Proclamation, and on it has the exemptions. They still do every single proclamation that's ever been written. They still talk about the exemptions, and the exemptions are, like you said, disability, but also if it's unhealthy for you to wear one, which it is.
Yeah,
I can't lie anymore. I got to answer to God. So I'm not going to say I'm disabled if I'm not. I mean, obviously, I can't see without these. You could say that, I guess. Yeah. But also, I could just say it's unhealthy for me, and I don't have to explain why. And the fact that it's on the official government paperwork instead of just something that I created, it makes it that much more important. And that's what's helped me. And it actually has helped someone that's in the chat. I mean, she said that it might have even saved her job because she had this paperwork.
You have an issue. You do have an issue because I thought if you believe in the Mandela effect, you're mental. So you do have a physical issue.
Yeah, you're right. You're right. I just read that story today.
We're all mental.
And that's what
Brian's in a sidebar. I don't want to interrupt you, but Brian's in a sidebar. We could all pitch in and get him a razor. We get him a nice new razor for his face.
Wait,
maybe we get him like a. We can all pitch in. What's that?
He was kind of Tom Cruise last night because he's had a live show and he had pink lighting. So he had pink.
Pink lighting?
I'm like, did Brian get Tom Cruise?
Any second he's gonna want to jump on, you know that.
Did Brian shave? Was he clean shaven? Was it pretty? Because that man's got
pretty looking. He was looking pretty.
He's got good skin.
I think he's been.
Most men don't have skin like that. I'm saying right now, most men have it kind of nasty, but he is clean.
And Friendless said it, so I'm not going to out her. She mentioned it. She's the gal that I was talking about. I give her the paperwork that I had used, and she said it saved her from being fired that day. So, and it's just something I printed online. Just takes a minute. So
yeah. It helps them from getting fired, by the way. If you could show the cashier that paper, it helps them, helps you, helps them. There was a razor from the movie 1984. Yeah, we need to all pitch in and get Brian a nice new razor, just clean, or like a straight razor, clean shave it. Yeah. Get the neck. Aqua Velva moment.
Yeah, actually, Bob, Brian also made a video that he had to put a lot of his other channels. He had to put his videos, in private because YouTube is attacking and giving strikes, and so like you're talking about ME, they had to put their videos in private because in the UK they were trying to attack them. So it's a real thing, But hey, like I said, even if you get a strike, you can do what I do, fight it and win.
Well, YouTube they're not bad, man. If you just play the game and fight it, you could win. I've won all of mine. As few I'll just take down. I don't like them. Most of mine are a bunch of drunk videos anyway. I don't care if they get taken off. I'll take them off. Fuck it. But some of them I'll fight for the fun of it.
The problem is, Bob, like you said, playing the game. Sometimes you do play the game, but it takes an idiot to complain about your channel, about your video, which they did on my strike, where two people from the conference made a complaint. They gave me a strike, but I fought the system, find out who owned the company actually, and they got it overturned. Yeah. So sometimes it's not YouTube. People who are
not YouTube
go against you.
To defend YouTube people, I have made videos on purpose, and everyone knows I do, just to get people pissed off. I called motherfuckers out, and they go ahead and call YouTube, and they put complaints in. And I want to find out, and YouTube has to go to the complaint thing. Now, they're not taking it off.
They just took you off. We got to shut him up.
Oh, that's fantastic. That was a good timing on that. They will not take me off.
He won. He's still frozen.
You shall not pass.
No, that's great. But we are basically at the 2-hour mark where I usually like. But so right before we end, Mike, you want to say anything before we go? You want to promote any shows coming up that you know of?
No, I'm said about all I needed to came on to say, so I'll let y'all close it out.
And Mike, you've said to me before about getting together, I'll try. I'm getting everyone. I know that sounds silly, but a lot of people have been asking me, and I've already committed. I mean, to these guys in a couple of them. So if I can figure something out, it'd be fine too. So
So remember, people, tomorrow I've got the Horror Talk show. This is coming on. We're going to talk zombie movies. If you're interested in that kind of stuff, you're welcome.
You said horror. Okay, sorry.
Horror. And then Wednesday, you have 7 o'clock 7 o'clock.
Completely different show.
Silly Fan Man going to be on Airborne Saint. And then at 9 p.m. or 9 a.m. Pacific time, he was going to be on the Rose 777 channel.
Correct.
And then 11 a.m. he'll be back on here to talk some heavy 5G stuff. Now remember, everybody, 5G. I know it's a sensitive topic for a lot of you. Just go in there with open mind. We're not telling you how you should think 5G. I'm just giving you my opinion. Richard will give his opinion. Bob will give his opinion. And then time to wake up is going to jump on for a little bit to give his opinion. And that's all it is. It's all just an opinion. So that's coming Wednesday, not gun-ho, like you guys are liars. You don't know what you're talking about. I saw this. No, we're just going to have a conversation. Okay? So just be cool about it, because I know last time I did a 5G show, man, I got a lot of hate emails on that. You don't know what you're talking about. Fine, I don't know what I'm talking about. Let's just have a good conversation. And, we're going to end the show now. Bob got taken down. Which is priceless to me. That's just perfect. So, all right. Thank you, Mike, for jumping on. Richard, thank you for jumping on. And I'll see you guys Friday.